Oh, hey, Donny Walker here. How's it going? Look, my nose is red. Out in this cold shed. Grabbing some more stuff. Getting ready to have everything out of here. Taking this bench apart so the other person that lives in the other part of this house can put some stuff there. So, whatever. Get my other shop set up that you seen this morning on 2 videos. Then another video I did on the bucking spike of the topping saw for the Echo. So an old friend of mine, his dad couldn't get this 61 started anymore. Like he'll get it started if his son pulls it over and gets it going, but he can't do it anymore. And unfortunately, a lot of these old 61s, 266s, 66s, they also made a 66. Remember that? They were hard to pull over, They had a single thick ring, and a lot of their starter pulleys would get warped, so that made it harder to pull over. Yeah, just in the starter pulley on Huskies. 266s, 61s, a lot of the series of Huskies had problems with the pulleys getting spread, and stuff, So the rope gets kind of bound up. It makes it harder to pull over. So the first things we would do sometimes with 61s would be to put a new pulley on, new rope, and they started perfect every time because they're like one of the best saws ever made. They're like the old original 65 and 77 of Husky from 1965 and on, the old round top type ones. They're just wicked old saws, They ran like the old Still and stuff, Just a decent old engines, right? So this old 61, yeah, so I thought, well, maybe there's something wrong with it. So he gave it to me. I thought, I'm going to check it out. So first thing I do is pull the bar and chain off. And I look at this thing. Oh, goodness, man. You look at this. Around the bar wearing pad down here and whatnot in the crankcase, this thing has never really had a chain or even come off and make a mark. It's in such good shape. The serial number is missing, but these ones with the gray top in this era were like around the 300-year edition, or 300-year celebration edition, around 1986, 86 up into the 90s, right? Just a well-built saw. And as I took it apart, I noticed the clutch springs is totally missing. So there's no way you'd be able to start this properly. You're pulling over a direct drive saw. So there's 2 different things now you're considering. The bad starter pulley and a missing clutch spring. Not even a war clutch spring, a missing one. And there's another thing. These clutch springs now are not available through Husqvarna anymore. You might be able to get aftermarket ones or aftermarket clutches. But the newer style 272, this is what they call a garter spring, okay? Like the big spring all the way around. The newer clutches have like the 3 kind of springs, like a 372 and 371. Great clutch. Best probably ever built. Never go through springs. Rarely break them. On them and the 385s. They were great clutches and still are. So you can adapt those clutches to this model of saw if you have an old 266 or 61 with the proper fine thread clutch too. Now remember, the early 266s, 162s and whatnot had that coarse thread clutch. No way you can get one of those right now. I have one though. I'm keeping it for myself. Sorry, man. So, you know what? I'm going on about this stuff. This is my last shed kind of talk. But these 61s were great saws. Unfortunately, the serial number tag is missing, which is a bummer. This thing, the piston's in perfect shape. So I'm going to clean this thing up, go through the fuel system, and see if I might have a spring around for this clutch, or I'm going to adapt the new clutch onto it. Because this thing is in such good shape. It's dusty and dirty, but that's the way it came here. You know what I mean? It's got the years of grime on it, but this kind of gray top and whatnot, and those years of 61s, a 300-year edition one, I'd really like to have one of those, and I've seen them, Some of my customers have brought me some that were like brand new, and they had the 300 badge on them. I'd really like to have one of those, the 61, just because they're such a good saw. They were like a, a torquey, good firewood and good daily user saw. They didn't rev high, but they pulled good. Just a nice saw. So yeah, I'm gonna fix this up for my friend's dad, and it'll start for him and work. I'll come up with a clutch spring though. I know they're not available, but I'm gonna come up with some sort of other model or see if there is aftermarket ones, because these clutches worked great. There was nothing wrong with them. The odd time you broke one, but maybe it was because of the operator, the way the user was using it. Who knows? I don't blame anyone to do anything wrong, but maybe that's what it is. So yeah, just great old saws, man. What it really came actually out for is to say, holy man, thank you very much. 8,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, everyone. I really enjoy giving advice to people, answering almost everyone's comments as much as I can. I'm busy. I try to do some during the day if I'm got a couple minutes, or at night if I got a couple of minutes, or on the weekends if I gotta, just sitting around the campfire, just cut some wood and just relax and, look at them, eh? So sorry if I haven't ever got back to you or don't get back to you enough, but I just want to thank you all for the kind comments and great stuff and watching my stuff. Sometimes I'm, showing you what I'm cooking in my kitchen, but whatever, that's what I enjoy too. So sometimes if I enjoy that, and I think maybe it might give you a little positivity, some positive thoughts, why not, man? Who cares, man? I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just cooking some food, or I'm doing this or doing that. Nothing wrong with that. You just have to have fun what you're doing. So I told my daughter today, I gave her some help today. She dropped her vehicle off to get some work done on it, and I picked her up, and I'll give her a ride to it to tomorrow to pick it back up, right? She was going on about some people at work, and oh, this person doing this and person doing that, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You just don't think about it, man. Do your own thing. Don't worry about other people's stuff. Just enjoy your life. That's great, and you've done so well, and you'll just have a better day. She's like, wow, Dad, that was a pretty cool thing to say. I'm like, sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. But Donny Walker here enjoys that you all watch my videos, and I'll have a lot more coming up. Today I did quite a few. Got a little wetness in my eye there, thinking about that with my daughter and stuff. Just stuff I've been doing. Nothing wrong with crying. Men can cry. Yeah. So that was nice to talk to her about that. And just saying thanks to everyone for watching everything. And I'll have a lot more coming up. I did the few today. I like doing, on the moment ones, eh? Like my friend calls my brother today, and he's like, well, man, the bucking spike on that Echo, man, it just sucks. It was terrible. It's like, sounds like a toy saw. I'm like, oh, man, you're right, though. I went and looked at it, I'm like, wow, those Echo 355s don't have much of a bucking spike on it. So I thought we already had other ones there that were better, or you can get them from Echo that were better. Because I do remember seeing something in their catalog showing a bucking spike for actually the 2511. Yeah, that little tiny one. Yeah, so they show a bucking spike for that because they don't come with it, but you can buy one for it. And there's another one that I think we can make a little bit better of a dog for. Yeah, but not too aggressive. That little saw is not the going to be the king of tree topping, but it could use a bit better of a spike if you're going to use it for a bit of takedown type trees, right? But for pruning and branching out and doing stuff like that, you don't need a dog, really, right? A lot of people abuse dogs because they rely on them to grip in and cut when they can't file their chain right. True thing. Anyways, sorry I didn't mean to bug you guys about that. So I've watched people out in firewood areas, man. You wouldn't believe it. I watched this one guy one time. I go out to shut the gate one time to where we used to have firewood permits. We used to have the permits at our shop, sell them to people, and people would be out there cutting firewood. So I go out to this spot one day, and this guy with this poulan, no kidding you, like a wild thing or something, which, whatever. There's about 30 different models of poulans. They're the exact same saw, but they got different names. Wildcat, Wild Thing, Shark, who knows? Just the cheap ones they sell in the big stores, right? Hey, when they run right, they're great. When they don't, they aren't. Anyways, this guy, he's like going back and forth like a saw, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was going to go lock the gate and I see this guy sitting in there doing this and there's like smoke coming off it. I'm like, I gotta go see this guy. He's gonna either start a fire or he's really gonna wreck his saw, right? Because that's the worst thing for a saw. Dull chain, bad fuel, you know? Yeah. So I went in and said to the guy, I said, oh my goodness, sir, do you have an extra chain for the saw? Oh, I think I do on my kid over there. I go, well, you can't use it like that. I was just watching, and he goes, yeah, it's not working very good. It's like not cutting. And I go, well, yeah, man, it's like totally dull. Like he's just probably put it in like 4 or 5 rocks and curled that tooth like from up there on Viagra down there. Just curled it right over. I looked at it and I was like, oh my God. His like bar was totally purple. So I whipped his bar and chain off, flipped the bar over, put the new chain on that was in his kit, and tightened it up, and I adjusted his carburetor for him too, you know. And I thought, you know, like, let's see how it works now. So I started it up and I ran it and adjusted his carburetor for him and gave it back to him and let him make a cut. He's like, oh man, that is so much better. Thanks, man. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, you're lucky you didn't blow it up the way you were running it, burning the wood instead of cutting it, because you got no cooling in the motor that when it's not under load. And he's like, oh, well, hey, how much owe you? I go, nothing, man. Just remember me at Christmas if you want. I work at that shop where you bought the permit. That was funny. I seen a couple of elk that day too. A couple of Roosevelt elk. This one was massive. Oh my God, I don't know, like a 5x5, 5x6. I don't know. It was like huge. It was like so cool to see. On Vancouver Island here, we have the Roosevelt elk, they call it, and which is named after Teddy Roosevelt, the old president down there in the United States there, boys. And he introduced them to North America, I guess. That's what I've heard. If I haven't heard right, let me know. But hey, thanks very much, all you subscribers. I'm so happy. And I'm going to do a whole bunch more at the old shop in my dyno room and stuff. I'm getting it all fixed up, and you'll see more. I'll be a while with the dyno. I'm just waiting for some computer stuff, but I'll be back into it. And me and Dyno Joe, we'll be able to both show you what people can do and what people can't do. Have a great night. Keep your saw into it, stick in the ice, rubbing the road. Keep warm in your shed if you're in your shed. Look at my breath. Can you see it? Thanks for subscribing. Love you out there. Be safe. Be kind. Check out the walkersawshop.com online store. Have a great week.